Testing.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Here we are again. I don't know. I've had a week.
Yeah.
I'm mentally unwell, but I am
Physically here.
chinning up for the podcast.
Well, I'm glad that you're here.
Yeah, I am too. It's a lovely day.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so nice out.
And it's Cinco de Mayo.
Oh yeah.
So maybe
Found
go
a
have
new
some
taco
tacos.
place yesterday. I went with PP.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Faustino's
Okay.
Taqueria.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Sponsor us.
It's on near Franklin.
Okay.
And this is in Des Moines. And that's not how you say it, but might be how you say it.
Yeah.
Depending on where you're from. Yeah. So your coffee this morning, that was a shift.
Yeah, I got a peppermint bark, which is chocolate and peppermint.
With extra.
Extra peppermint, and I still can't taste it.
Are
What's
you
up with their
kidding
peppermint
me?
syrup? I don't know.
Huh. Should I start complaining?
I
When I
mean,
go through it, I'm going to be like, can you please make it taste like peppermint?
if you're gonna pay, what is it, like $5-6 for a coffee, there you should be able to taste the peppermint. So
Yes.
yeah, if you want to complain,
Speaking of, I haven't seen any rewards coming through on my phone lately. What are they trying to do to me?
I don't know. I feel like I've gotten one recently.
Huh. Well, maybe you go through that. I'll give them your phone number.
Okay, yeah,
That's it. I just give them a different phone number.
yeah. Every switch back and forth, and they can use the same discount twice.
That's amazing. Yes. Mine is a pomegranate 7 Energy. And I can taste the pomegranate.
Yeah,
It's very tart. It's similar to that pixie stick.
yeah.
It's still very good.
I love pomegranate, but I hate opening them.
Oh, God.
I love the flavor of pomegranate, but I don't like messing with the fruit.
Oh, no. I always put it, I've tried that pounding it with the spoon thing. I can't get that to work. But I always just put it in a bowl of water because if I don't, then it'll turn my hands red.
Oh, yeah.
So I just kind of loosen it up and then I pick out all the crap. But those, wait, do you know what they're called? They're called arils.
Arils, the seeds?
Yes.
Okay.
Arils. ARILS.
Okay.
Fun fact of the day.
Yeah.
Those will keep for a while. So I just put them in a container,
Yeah.
throw them on my salads. Oh, love those things, but they are a pain.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the first person to figure that shit out. Like, what is it? Persephone, actually. That's a biblical story where I'm not a biblical scholar, but Persephone I know, and pomegranate, and something about Satan. The end.
All right. I only heard about the apple.
It's Eve. That's Persephone's cousin.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we're all Eve's cousins.
Ew.
That is gross. Well, speaking of our theme this week,
Yeah.
and to throw Adam and Eve in there, an unwed couple.
Blasphemy.
So our theme is weddings.
Yes.
And we did Betsy's wedding and Muriel's wedding.
Yes. And they're both very close in time. I didn't realize.
Okay, yeah.
One was 1990 and Betsy's 1990, Muriel's wedding 1994.
Okay.
Similar times, different countries though.
And
American versus Australian.
different enjoyment levels.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Betsy's first?
Yeah, let's go with Betsy's. It's chronological and alphabetical.
Perfect.
I would like to read a
Do it.
dramatic reading of somebody's review.
Yes.
It was much longer than this, but this is the sentence that, give you a clue to the silliness. She destroys a $10,000 wedding dress because it just won't be me, makes it into this rag with straps, and puts on a top hat, and everyone smiles cutely at her moxie rather than ringwalding her neck.
ring holding her neck.
I love that. Shout out
wow.
to GL, I don't know, Goya
Okay.
on IMDb for that little gem.
I love reading those kinds of reviews.
Me too. It's now that you brought up a couple, I always kind of look and see if there's something on there because there's some gems on there. So in the wedding she does that, and also where did she get the top hat?
That's so fucked up. That honestly, I don't know.
Did she bring it with her thinking that she was gonna tear up the dress?
I can't even with any of the things that she puts on her body.
I know, and her mother-in-law in the beginning she goes, I love her outfit, it's really weird. And she takes that as like a compliment. Kind of. She's like, oh, I thought it was too conservative, and her mom and the mother-in-law's like, no, it's very weird.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's similar to her character in Pretty in Pink, where she's supposed to be kind of an original, right? But everything was so unflattering, and not, if she were a clothing designer, none of those things went together in the same vein. Like you can tell a designer because they kind of carry through some certain elements, maybe color, maybe fabrics, but I didn't understand anything that she was wearing, or she had no depth of character.
Yeah.
She almost had no lines, really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I read some reviews where people were just like, this movie is about Alan Alda.
Really, it is.
And it's modeled after like his own, I guess he had a daughter that got married. Okay. Don't we all?
Yes. You and I especially.
It just, when you have so much money or so much fame or so many friends in high places, you are allowed to do some really, really terrible things.
Yeah, I will say strong start to the movie. Yeah. He's fighting a tiger.
Yeah.
In the very first scene. And then he's fighting his wife. His poor wife in this movie. She's getting like attacked in her sleep all the time.
I love her though, Madeline Kahn.
Yeah. She's great. Do you do anything weird in your sleep? Have you ever sleepwalked or talked or anything?
I did just the other day.
Yeah.
Well, I wondered if I sleptwalked. Mm-hmm. Because I woke up, I had to go to the bathroom, and I remember thinking, wow, it's pitch dark. And it is never pitched. My bedroom is like Kmart. There are outside lights and I've got those horrible blinds. Like I can't shut out the light. I should probably look into a whatever, but maybe not, because I go and I'm like, it's pitch dark. And I went to put my hand on my dresser to sort of guide me.
Yeah.
And I missed, and I just fell right into the closet. I skinned up my knee.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like getting myself up, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? And so I went to the bathroom, and I'm looking out into the room, and I was like, why is it so dark? I have no idea. And then I was telling a friend about it, and I thought, I wonder if I had my eyes closed.
Yeah. Probably.
What? I'm like, that has to be the only reason.
Yeah.
But no, I don't usually sleepwalk. I had a roommate that did.
Yeah.
She sleepwalked right out into the street.
Yikes.
Possibly faking it. I'm not sure. But that's got to be a scary ass thing.
Yeah, I used to do it as a kid.
Yeah.
So I would actually get out of my bed and sleepwalk. Yeah. I usually wouldn't realize it till I woke up in another room or something. But I haven't done it as an adult in a long time. But I do weird things like just the other day, I was having a dream and I was trying to kick someone.
Yeah.
And I woke myself up actually kicking. And Joel's like, are you all right? I'm like, oh, sorry. I was dreaming and kicking.
When I was young and a waitress, I would literally sit up in bed and I had a imaginary coffee pot in my hand. I'm like, what the fuck? I would literally have trouble falling asleep if I realized I had forgotten someone's milk. Do people still drink milk with their meals?
Little kids I've seen. But
oh God, I just remember that. It was it was Perkins where I worked. And it was like everyone wanted a huge glass of milk, but they wanted it after their food comes. Because your milk would get warm, I guess.
Weird.
Yeah, it was so gross.
I don't think I've ever ordered milk at a restaurant.
I know, right?
But I do remember, like, yeah, as a kid, I would drink milk with dinner a lot. Because it was like milk or water. Those are your choices. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That I was served milk every day of my life. And a huge glass of it.
Yeah.
Vomit.
I guess they probably still give you a little carton of milk in school.
Yeah.
With your lunch, you think?
That's so weird. Mm-hmm. That is something that is not necessary at all. At all for health, nutrition, or anything. Oh my God. That's just industry for you.
Yeah. Speaking of industry.
Tell me.
The weddings industry.
The weddings industry. And I had questions for you, but more I'll ask you about it when we talk about Muriel's wedding.
Okay.
Yeah. Ali Sheedy plays her sister. Mm-hmm. The same character that she was in Breakfast Club, pretty much.
Kind of, yeah. Just they decided she was pretty in this one.
Oh,
whereas in the Breakfast Club, she's supposed to not be pretty.
She has to become pretty. Yeah.
But she's already pretty, obviously.
Right. She is, but she's got that meek insecurity,
which is weird because she's a cop.
And her love story with what was his name, Jimmy D or something. Her love story is more interesting than Molly Ringwald, who is actually getting married.
Right. Yeah. It's really not about Betsy at all. No. It's about all her family. Yeah. That was weird.
So why make Betsy such a weird dresser? What was the point of any of that?
She has to be in every movie. Molly Ringwald has to be. What did I write? Why does she always have to be a offbeat designer?
Right.
In every
so
film?
Dumb.
It wasn't necessary. Well,
no.
I mean, I guess they want her to tear up the dress at the end. That was a big thing, but
yeah, but we already saw her do that in Pretty in Pink.
True. With her prom, that's true. And she didn't make maybe she did make that wedding dress better. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was of the time though, but it probably seems worse than it was at the time. But it was it was the very poofy, very beaded wedding gown, but that was more of the style at that time.
Right. Yeah. Weddings. She also had a very unfortunate haircut.
Yeah.
No.
That's the only reason she had time to redo her wedding dresses, because she didn't have to do her hair on the day.
Her hair. Yeah, it was practically a buzz cut.
Yeah, it was
not good. Why? I
compared to the friend in Muriel's wedding, the one that ends up in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
That's a cute short haircut.
Yes.
Super cute.
Very cute.
Very
I couldn't
short.
pull it off. No way.
She does, though.
Yeah.
Versus like Molly Ringwald, if she had something with just a little bit more style or shape to it, she could pull that off. But they give her this like little boy's haircut.
Yeah. It's not cute. I wonder if she thought it was cute. Or if somebody was blowing smoke up her ass and saying, "Oh, you look so good. Put this top hat on and cover that hair."
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Where did it come from?
The top hat. Maybe it was like there was like a costume closet in the church.
It's huge
Where
and
did
white.
It come from?
I mean, I would almost believe it if it was black. Like maybe somebody had it around.
Yeah.
But it was white.
Yeah.
So that's very unusual.
I need a white top hat. Stat. Call the tuck shop.
Was it like one of the groomsmen was planning on wearing that? I don't know. It was so bizarre.
Wow. I think maybe she just collected as many weird, maybe she made that hat.
She made it out of the dress?
She made it at the same, out of the dress.
You know how hard, I know firsthand how hard they are to make.
Yes,
because in we got married like 2 years ago now. And my
brother,
long
ago now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. Almost.
Oh yes, I love this story.
My brother has a huge head and he was marrying us and we could not find a hat that fit him. Literally, they don't make them.
Woo-hoo! Coffee break! Let's talk about our beans.
Hey Bean Flickers, have you followed us yet? We are on Instagram and Facebook at Flickin' Beans Pod. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave us a review.
Do you know the inches? The circumference of his head?
how big 26?
Okay, because the average adult's head, I know this from knitting hats, is about 21.
Yeah. So 26.
Wow,
and
that is a big noggin.
Yeah. Literally, we could not find a hat. Well, we could, but it was like going to be like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And we're like, he's going to wear this once.
Oh, God.
So Joel made a hat.
Yeah.
And it turned out pretty good, but it was tricky to make.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That would be such a cool thing to know how to do, though, especially like in England or, you know, somewhere, or, you know, for the Kentucky Derby people, all that stuff, because that's going on right now, or yesterday, was it?
So, yeah.
I liked the movie more than I remembered liking it.
No.
And yet the same thing stuck out to me is the terrible clothes and the terrible. And just, it really is all about Alan Alda.
And the mob.
I just feel like it was just a pet project for him.
And and like the whole men's pride thing was dumb. Like, because the Molly Ringwald's future husband is rich, comes from money,
right?
And Alan is not. You know, he's all right. He's doing all right, but he's
not rich.
Yeah,
richer than me.
And he's like in the middle of a project, so you know he doesn't have cash flow or whatever. But he insists on paying for the wedding anyway.
Pride,
and it's like, just let the guy who has a lot of money pay for the wedding. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, I could see that would bother somebody, but his wife is like, God,
yeah. At least
what are you doing?
He didn't even want their help. It's like, you know, because they offered to buy a tent, and then they end up having this shitty tent that the rain came through.
That whole thing was great, though.
Yeah.
I thought they really ran with it. If you had pouring rain at your wedding, I feel like half the guests would leave. And I mean, there they were, just in ankle deep water, dancing the night away, and no one got electrocuted.
Right, I thought that too. Like, this is unsafe. We know there's all these lights everywhere.
It's very unsafe.
I hope the band was elevated.
Yeah, right. Or maybe acoustic.
Yeah.
Not electric. I always wondered remember when Prince did the halftime show in the rain and he's singing Purple Rain? How does that work to not get electrocuted?
I don't know.
I wondered.
I've wondered that too. Like, because I've been to concerts where it's pouring.
Gosh.
Of course, like, maybe the stage was under a canopy, though. It's like when I went to see Alanis Morissette a few years ago, it was pouring rain the whole time. And they still had the show, and nobody got electrocuted.
All right.
That I saw.
Well, can you imagine the trauma of everyone around you getting electrocuted? Apparently, the eyes pop out, so we don't want that.
No, I've been electrocuted on a small scale, and it's not good.
Wait, I wrote down a quote.
Yeah.
Don't screw with your brain. Don't think with your dick. That's from the heart.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's the mob boss, right? That says that?
Yeah.
To Jimmy D?
Alanis Morissette.
Yeah.
It's like rain on your wedding day. Oh, I wonder if she was thinking of that when she was singing in the rain. Singing in the rain. Do you want to talk about the next movie?
Yeah, let's move on. Betsy's Wedding. Don't bother.
No.
Unless you...
Although, hey, when I was looking up fun facts, I found this, it was a YouTube video of a podcast called Forgotten Cinema.
Okay.
And I'm going to give that a listen because they were doing Betsy's Wedding. And I was like, finger on the pulse, you and me. Theirs was like 2 years ago, but it's fine.
It's fine.
Okay, let's go. Let's move on to Porpoise Spit.
Porpoise Spit. Wow. I had to look up, speaking of, because that is such a crazy name.
Is it real?
It's not real.
Okay, good.
It was based on the director's hometown, but that's not a real place.
Okay.
But these are some real Australian town names.
Yes.
And places.
Okay.
So Indigenous people in Australia have like really must have a very fun language because they have a lot of funny things. Anyway, like Humpy Bong. That's an indigenous word for shelter. Eggs and Bacon Bay.
I'm moving.
Yeah. Boing boing. That's the indigenous word for mosquitoes buzzing, which I love.
Boing, boing. Wow.
Big Bush, Tasmania.
Yep.
Stinkhole, Tasmania, and Pisspot Creek.
Wow.
Those are all real towns in Tasmania.
Oh my God.
And there was way more, but those are just some of the highlights.
That's crazy. That's a whole different universe.
So I wondered, like, what, because Porpoise Spit is just such a ridiculous name, if that was the case, that, like, there were weird Australian names, and I was right.
You were right.
Yes.
This wedding, well, it starts out with okay. So, when we first meet Muriel, she is at a wedding of basically some mean girls.
Yes.
I was just like, this is a clique, and you hate them from the get-go. And she's awkward.
It starts with the most uncomfortable part of the wedding, the bouquet toss.
Oh, God.
I've always hated that tradition, especially like being single for so long, and like and I would always go like try to hide in the bathroom or something when I was at weddings, because
really?
I don't want it. A lot of times it was like five people that were trying to catch it, and I don't want it.
No, I don't. I'm more likely to just watch the melee and stuff.
But if I was around, then people would be like, "Go up there, go up there." So
Oh,
I would try to hide.
You're right. They do that. Ugh, you're single.
Yeah,
That's single shaming.
it is.
Oh my God. So the girl's clamoring to get it, and Muriel catches it, and those bitches go, you shouldn't have it. Give it to her.
Yeah.
Toss it again. Wow.
Yeah, you're never gonna get married.
No.
They're very mean.
They're mean. And she already has such low self-esteem. I mean, her family, all the kids in the family, you're losers, you're worthless, you're nothing. And her father thinks he is something, but he is not. He's not.
Yeah.
He's a criminal, really.
Yeah.
Just such a obnoxious braggart, whatever. And the poor
Name
mom.
dropper.
Yeah, name dropper. You're right. And the mom is just like, I think she's on Quaaludes. She's just checked out of.
Yeah, something's weird with her.
Yeah, just checked on out. A zombie, kind of. She can't function. And of course, none of the kids are getting out of the house and doing anything with their lives. They've been told they're shit.
Right. And he, like, what's the word? He helps them. Or when you're an addict, you...
enable.
And he's an enabler.
Yes,
and I think it's because he likes to hold his power over his kids.
Absolutely.
So he tells them they're worthless, and then he'll also, like, pay off people when they get in trouble.
Well, yeah, because she got arrested for stealing her dress at the wedding.
Which we never find out whether she actually did, but she probably did.
She did.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't have a job.
Right.
Yeah, so she did steal a dress, and which is so sad because she felt pretty.
Yeah.
You know, and and she's supposedly supposed to produce a receipt, but then sees that the cops are leaving. So with looked like a case of beer,
yeah, he paid.
So he paid him off with a case of beer, and problem solved. So she didn't get into any trouble. But you see that dynamic, and her thing to kind of lose herself is to listen to the ABBA songs.
Yes.
Which
on a
I
pink boombox.
Love ABBA. Or ABBA, as we call it here in the Midwest.
So I was watching this, and Joel was like out doing other stuff, and he comes in, he's like, "Are you guys watching Mamma Mia this week?"
See? Yeah.
And I was like, "No, just a lot of ABBA."
Yeah.
in this movie.
Right. Well, they're
like
Australian,
soundtrack.
right?
No, ABBA is like Swedish or something.
Swedish. Oh, you are right. Swedish. Huh. It's I wonder why they went that route then. I don't know. Anyway, I love it. So the ABBA songs do play a super role in it.
Yes.
Especially, well, the mean girls, they have a holiday planned. I love it when they say holiday instead of vacation.
Yeah.
To Hibiscus Island. I wonder if that's a real place.
I don't know. That sounds lovely, though.
Yeah. It looked to be sort of like Australian Cancun.
Exactly.
And we see that Muriel has basically drained her parents' bank account in order to go there. She's telling all kinds of lies. Well, she wants to be someone else.
Yeah.
And so many girls think that when you get married, that your life changes, that your life begins at that point. So I get it.
It's like happily ever after myth.
Yeah. But she's super hyper focused on the wedding itself.
Yeah.
Because that is the public acknowledgement of you are somebody now.
Right.
You are somebody's somebody.
You've been chosen.
Yeah, you've been chosen and you're beautiful. There's nothing more, magical, I guess, than that whole wedding dress thing. And this is where I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
When you worked at David's Bridal.
Yes.
Did you have anybody that was kind of like a wedding dress tourist that wanted to try them on and wasn't getting married?
Probably.
Yeah.
But I can't remember any instance. Well, yeah. There was a few people that were like, I'm not actually engaged yet.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Was there a rule against that?
No.
Okay.
I mean, because that person might fall in love with the dress and come back and get it when they do get engaged, or they'll remember whatever. So yeah, we didn't have any kind of like clearance on that. We let them come in and do whatever. And I'm sure there was more that were lying.
Yeah. Well, it's, it's probably the most transformative article of clothing that anybody can put on, other than like a cosplay.
Yeah.
Costume.
True. It's kind of is a cosplay.
It is.
It's like, no, you don't wear that outfit any other time in your life, so you're getting to cosplay as a bride.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. When you get hired at David's Bridal, they make you put on a wedding gown.
Really?
As part of your training, because they want you to realize, one, how fucking heavy they are.
Yes.
And two, just like understanding like how if you've never had a wedding gown on, what you look like in one.
Yeah.
It really does
go,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It is a thing.
So
I mean, it's not prom. It's much more.
Yes.
And even if the dress isn't super floofy, it still does that.
Yes.
It's so crazy. Yes. Very heavy. Do a little stretch there.
Yeah, I have I think permanent damage to my shoulder from working there.
Wow.
It's bothering me right now, but so I'm going to blame David's Bridal. But the gowns, they are up high so that the train and stuff doesn't touch the floor. So you're going like this, and these gowns are like, sometimes like 30, 40, 50 pounds.
Jeez.
And I would be carrying multiples most of the time, carrying them up above my head and on and off the rack. And I think it just messed with my shoulder.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Fully. Wow. Yeah, you don't think about that stuff, like how they have to be off the ground. Shoot. You get the same injury as like a house painter.
Yeah. For sure.
Man. So, one of the best parts when Rachel Griffith's character recognizes Muriel at the resort.
Yes.
And I don't know why she was there on her own.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Like, she wasn't there with anyone else?
No.
That was odd. Well, she was probably just, I don't know. She liked to scope out dudes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Maybe she liked to go on vacation alone so she could go have flings.
Yeah, well, she did like sex.
Yes.
It's not to spoil anything, but she does have a tumor in her back that ends up, she has a fall when she's trying to have sex with two dudes. And this isn't funny, but the tumor ends up pinning her spinal cord and she loses the ability to walk. And she asks the doctor, what caused this? Is it too much sex? Which is the best.
I know.
I mean, yeah. But at this point, she's able to walk and she meets up with Muriel and she is the best because the mean girls try to collect her and this happens. This happens. Don't be friends with her. Be friends with us. And she tells them off.
Yeah.
9 Ways to Sunday. And then when she and Muriel do the dance for the talent show, I was the top hat. Where did the costumes come from? Every group doing the talent show had perfectly curated costumes.
Yes, and an act put together.
Yeah.
I've never been on vacation and they're at the resort or the hotel or whatever. Has there been a talent show?
No.
But it's something that happens in movies.
Yeah.
Like Dirty Dancing.
Yes.
That's a little different because it's like a place that people go for all summer. But like that movie with Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler where they run into Nicole Kidman and they have like a hula off.
Oh, yes.
It reminded me of Muriel's Wedding. I think it might have been a nod to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Spring Breakdown.
Yep.
Yeah, this does not happen.
No, why?
I don't know. It should.
I mean, I like it. I know, me too. I'm like, where is this open mic night?
Right. I'm going to say the resort had a costume shop.
Yeah.
And you get to go and pick out what you want.
Yeah.
And I definitely would have gone for the banana bra, but it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, yeah. That banana outfit is incredible.
That was so great.
That's one of the Mean Girls had a banana bikini thing.
Yeah.
With a grass skirt.
It was so great. Next, she and Rachel Griffiths, what was her name?
Rhonda.
Okay. Muriel and Rhonda end up being roommates and moving to Sydney, the big city. Goodbye, Porpoise Spit. And then their friendship is challenged in a few ways. Like when Rhonda sees that Muriel has like created an entire photo album of just her trying on dresses.
Yeah.
But that was her, some people do retail therapy. Whenever she felt bad, she put on a wedding dress.
Yeah.
She scammed all the ladies into taking her picture. Like, we don't usually do this. Do they not usually do that?
I mean, I think they do.
I would think she just comes with her own Polaroid camera.
Yeah.
And says, here, take my picture.
I don't think, especially now, maybe it was different because not everybody had a camera in their pocket.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
maybe
you
it
take
was
pictures of it so you can look at it at home and go, oh, how do I
that
look
was
at that?
probably just a device to introduce her telling a lie, another lie, and another lie, and another lie.
Just so many lies.
But yeah, it's sad.
It does. Yeah, a lot of this movie, I was just kind of bummed.
Yeah,
because Muriel is so sad and so insecure.
Yeah,
and I feel for her.
I do too.
And you can just see everyone around her is not helping with that.
No, until she moves.
Yeah,
she gets away from the family.
Like how one friend can completely change your life. If you just have one person, everyone else in her life still treats her like shit.
Yes.
But Rhonda comes along and like has a little bit more confidence than her and is like, hey, you're a cool person. Yeah. And then she gets a job and she like changes her whole life just because Rhonda's like her friend.
Right.
And that's pretty cool. I like that part of the movie.
And it would have been fine just to stay there.
Yeah.
That cute boy liked her, but she was looking for something more, I guess. And again, another lie. The person that she does marry is just for citizenship.
Right.
Doesn't love her. She doesn't love him. But it appears to be the greatest day of her life.
Yeah. She is just cheesing it up.
She
having that smile and like when she's getting married, and she really is just having like the best day.
Yeah, and she's famous because he's a world-class athlete or something, swimmer. So, she's in the papers and everything and the tabloids and it's crazy.
Yeah.
I can just imagine riding that high and then plummeting when that part's over and nothing changed with her. That's so depressing.
It is.
He shows some caring for her after her mother passes away. I mean, they kiss. Which I didn't...
I think they have sex.
Did they have sex?
It seems like they allude to that, yeah.
Okay, well, all right. I just thought that was weird.
Yeah, I thought that was unnecessary.
Yeah.
And, like, he can show compassion to her without having sex with her.
Right.
They weren't attracted to each other. It didn't seem like. So
not
why?
At all.
Why? That part was kind of weird to me, too.
Yeah, they weren't drunk. Whoa.
So I want to talk about something that I wasn't alive for. Maybe get your opinion on this because I think this had a big impact on little girls and dreaming about their wedding. Is she and Muriel watches the Prince Charles and Princess Diana film, which I didn't realize it was so early. I thought this was closer to the late 80s. It was in 1981. Did you notice or feel an impact in the change in the ways that people viewed their weddings after that? Like, was there a cultural shift?
Well, definitely, like, people modeled their wedding dresses after her. Hers was huge.
Yeah, it was like this crazy long train, right?
God, it was the biggest dress ever. And I remember being... like our class let out, we all went into the media center to watch it. Yeah, so I would have been in, like, I don't know, 6th grade or something. Yeah, it was, and I don't know if that was for us kids. I don't think so. I think it was for all the teachers.
Yeah, they wanted to
see it. But I did the same thing with Kate Middleton.
Yeah,
I wanted to see the dress. I was making predictions, and it was quite a thing. Quite a thing. I mean, I know Princess Di was just it.
Yeah.
For people.
Yeah. She's a very interesting character in history. But yeah, I've heard before that, like, that was kind of one of the shifts of weddings that, have now made them be ridiculously over the top.
Over the top, yeah.
I mean, weddings have historically a lot of times been big, but they haven't necessarily been fancy. Or maybe, I don't know. But now I think it's gotten worse because of social media. But
well, think about, like, just a regular wedding when a couple gets into their own car.
Yeah.
And people have made a sign that says just married and tin cans.
Yeah.
I mean, that's such a cute thing that never ever happens in real life, just in movies and TV shows.
The only time I've seen it happen, my cousin's wedding, which is a whole thing I want to write a book about, but they got married, like, at their house, but they still decorated the car. And instead of using cans, they thought it would be funny to put feminine hygiene products,
gross,
like tampons and pads behind there. And I was like, what?
Why? What does that mean?
Sometime off podcast, I'll tell you more about that wedding. But
vomit. That doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. I've been watching the show Resident Alien.
Yeah.
And there's a male sheriff and a female deputy. And the sheriff wants to bring along a whole bunch of tampons. And she's like, how many tampons do you think we need? And he's like, you can use those things for everything. You can wipe your brow. You can just whatever. And he goes, if they should make them for men, they call them man ponds. I fucking love that show.
Man,
it is funny.
Man, I'll have to give that one another try because we did watch some of it.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I finally, it's only got 2 seasons, and I ripped through it yesterday, and I was sad. I want to watch it all over again because those two, in particular, the sheriff and the deputy, have some of the best. Between them, the scenes with those two are just fire. Yeah. I love it. Magical. Hilarious. But yeah, I mean,
did you, when you were a little girl, did you, like, have dreams of being a bride or think about it a lot?
I know I played a lot of house.
Yeah.
But what that means, I can't even recall. I think that just means that you order people around. Let's play house. Weird thing. Did I? No. I mean, I don't think I really started thinking about my wedding until I was older. Yeah, I don't. And I had been through my, I have step parents, so I've been through multiple weddings within my own family, my own parents. And part of the wedding, being a flower girl or a bridesmaid or whatever, not fun.
Yeah. There was a stretch of a few years as a bridesmaid like 4 times.
Yeah.
In like a span of a few years.
It's not really an honor.
I wish they were spread out more because it's just like a lot of money.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't remember really dreaming about my wedding like that either.
Yeah.
But then I don't remember any of my friends being like really into it. But then when I got to college, I had a few friends on my like dorm room floor. Mm-hmm. They were like obsessed with weddings, and they would just like buy wedding catalogs to look through them.
Oh yeah.
And like all that. And I always thought that was weird.
I would do that.
Yeah.
I suppose if somebody had one of those Modern Brides magazines, I'd look through it.
Yeah.
I like to look at the dresses. I like to look at the designs.
That's what like...
But I'm not necessarily dreaming of myself in it.
Yeah.
And if I got married again, I'm sure I wouldn't go that route.
Yeah.
I'm more like I would probably wear yoga pants and a sleeveless V-neck t-shirt. That's my go-to.
Yeah. I like it.
Thanks.
Maybe a little beanie or something to make it fancy.
I did have white Birkenstocks for my wedding. That was kind of cool. That was my top hat, if you will. And you had for your wedding the moment where you changed clothes. That was so great.
Yeah, I was very uncomfortable in my wedding dress that I used for the ceremony.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't wear a bra in it. That was the main thing. And I remember
I didn't have a bra on mine either.
And none of the solutions that I tried were very good. So I was basically just free boobing it up there.
Free boobing.
And I remember in the like receiving line, so we like walked through and like gave everybody a hug as they were releasing them. And I'm just thinking like, man, I'm basically hugging these people topless right now.
It's just so funny.
And it made me so uncomfortable. And then I was like, I gotta get out of this dress. So yeah, I had a second outfit, which I almost wore as my original outfit, but it was shapeless, and I thought it was like, yeah. I'm glad I had both.
Oh man, I bet you were super comfortable though.
Yeah,
when you changed. Shapeless is lovely,
and I didn't think about my shoes, which is one thing that because like I had these black sandals that are very, very comfortable, but then I was wearing them with my white thing. Well, it was fine.
Nobody noticed. Who cares? Your feet.
No, it was fine. I wanted to dance, and those were my dancing shoes.
Dancing Queen.
Yeah,
it was so fun. Oh man, the sad part. I wish that you had been at my wedding.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a good time. Lots of bubbles.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
How old were you in 2001?
Like 16.
Well, that's when it happened.
Yeah, 16, 17.
Wow. Dreaming of your own wedding?
Not really. I never. I maybe thought about it like with my boyfriend that I dated in high school and college because we were together for a long time. But then I always kind of felt like that was not going to happen for us.
Yeah.
And it didn't. And then after that, I was kind of like, I don't know if I even want to get married.
I think I was more along the lines of Muriel.
Yeah.
Where I thought that was the way to get out of the house, to get away. Yeah, that's kind of sad, but it's true.
I get that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I felt that way because I don't know.
Yeah.
I was always very, very independent and I wanted to like go and travel and do all these things. And I felt like marriage is a trap.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously I got married, but I never felt like I really wanted that until I met Joel. So,
yeah.
And he kind of felt that way too.
Yeah.
So,
well, and that's super opposite from Muriel where
right.
she is kind of jumping to the finish line before she ever started the race.
Right. Yeah. That scene where she meets the guy for the first time, and he's swimming, so he's like sitting there in his Speedo, which is awkward.
Yeah.
And then she's just got that goofy grin on her face, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get married.
Yeah.
And like, she's not even hearing him basically say she's so ugly. Like, what about the blonde? What about the other one?
Yeah,
I'm changing my mind. Not even
No.
registering on her face because she doesn't care.
She doesn't even know. She's just thinking that's the only thing that she needs to become who she thinks she is meant to be.
Yes.
But she does change in the end. When she comes back to Porpoise Spit, collects Rhonda, and they go back to Sydney.
Yeah.
You know, she's a free woman. She's a woman now, and she's got confidence, and she's, you know, realized her mistakes. I mean, it's really at the heart a story about friends.
Yeah. The love story is her and Rhonda.
Yes,
For sure.
absolutely. And your friends are always going to be there for you. The ups and downs, man. That part is very lovely.
Yes.
And it did turn itself around because you're right. It starts out so bleak
Yeah.
and sad.
Yeah. I think it's very realistic in a lot of ways. Like, you know, and have felt like Muriel.
Yeah.
And know people like her.
Yeah.
And especially if you grew up, you know, in a small town and you felt like it was hard to get out of there.
Yep.
Which I definitely felt that way.
I did too.
You're like, as soon as I can get out of here, I'm leaving.
Yeah. 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 Like, I know I don't want to date this farmer who, you know, lives in a mile down the road.
Yeah.
No, I need to go farther.
Yeah. It's weird. I mean, no hate to those people because I think
No.
there's something to that. But like, so many of my classmates still live in that area.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I can't identify with that.
No.
Probably because I never lived anywhere very long. But
Well, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Good for them.
Life is weird.
Different choices.
Different choices. What are we all about for next week?
That's a good question. I was looking at the list and a couple stood out to me. One was road trip.
Okay.
I think you have Harry Met Sally as yours.
Okay.
If you want to leave that, which I don't remember it being a road trip, but I guess it's been a minute since I've seen it.
Yeah, they're on a road trip.
Okay.
There's more to it than that, but that's how they get to know one another.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I have seen it, but it's been a long time and I don't really remember. Yeah.
Well,
I remember
we
liking
could
it though.
We could do the movie Road Trip.
Sure.
The package.
The package.
Okay.
It's a 2018. I don't know if there's other movies called The Package, but this one's 2018.
Okay.
And
Let's do that. We'll do Road Trip and The Package.
Road Trip and The Package.
Theme is road trips.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it.
Okay.
All right. Whoop whoop. Thanks for listening.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Everybody loves
Flickin'
Flickin'
Beans. Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.